Welcome to Expanding Your Search with Brent and JodiBailey. We are growing our circles of connection and knowledge with encouraging conversations and positive communications. Today, Brent and Jodi welcome
the writer, producer, director of the TV crime series Vindication, Jarod O'Flaherty.
And now, here are your hosts, Brent and JodiBailey.
Hey everybody, and welcome to a special Wednesday. We are here to kick off Season 2 of the television crime series Vindication right here on Expanding Your Search. Jodi's not here today, neither is Preston. I'm going to fly it solo, so y'all pray for me. I'm so excited that you came to join me today. I got a great show planned for you. Jarod has been on the show before, and we're going to talk about him in just a little bit. But, man, Season 2 for Vindication is heading up here today. Started today on Pureflix. And so I'm going to kick it off here and get things going. There's lots of stuff going on around the country today. The first thing I want to talk about is today is National Burnt Ends Day. You think, what in the world are burnt ends? Is that a hairstyling thing, or what is that? No, that is the actual day where when you're cooking brisket or ribs or something like that, there is part of the brisket that is it gets burnt in the smoking process, and it's little small ends. And this is the day that I guess this is the day to eat those. Now, I personally like to eat those all the time. I can eat them nonstop myself. I personally think that's the best part. But this is a good way to wind down the summer. It's summertime where the barbecuing is going to start ending here real soon. I know that's real sad. Labor Day is coming up on Monday. And so a lot of folks, this is the last chance of the season to really get to some good barbecuing fun stuff down. So if you go to a barbecue place, they should know that today is National Burnt Ends Day, and you can go and hopefully pick up some good ones. All right. Do you like burnt ends? Drop in the comments below and let me know down below if you like burnt ends or not, because they are really, really good. All right. Also today is National No Rhyme Nor Reason Day, and today is the day that they celebrate words that don't rhyme with anything else. And some of the ones that I started thinking about, I'm like, do those really not rhyme with anything else? Here are some words that don't rhyme with anything else. One is orange. I never really thought about it. I guess orange doesn't rhyme with anything. So orange. Month. Really, month doesn't rhyme with anything? I'm just got to think about that for a second. Probably not. Yeah, I can't think of one. So month is one of those: silver, spirit, chimney, purple, woman, ninth, and pint. Those all sound like words that a lot of folks use all the time. But today is the day to celebrate words that don't rhyme with anything else. Here's what it says. How do you observe a day like this? You make a list of words that you believe cannot be rhymed and check if you're correct. Sounds like a fun little game to play over on the side. So, all right. Today is also National Chicken Boy Day. Have you ever heard of this? Chicken Boy is a famous restaurant statue, and it's in California. He stands about 22 feet tall, holds a bucket of chicken, and he's kind of like the big boy of the chicken world. If I'm kind of, some people say he's the Statue of Liberty of the L.A. area. So today is the day to celebrate him. How do we celebrate that? Watch the Chicken Boy movie. Okay. Do the chicken dance. Whatever. I don't know. Sounds pretty fun, though. So happy Chicken Boy Day as well. All right. And one more. And let me pull it back up here. Today is Acne Positive Day. Acne Positive Day. How do you make a day like a day for being acne positive? Actually, what it is it's Acne Positivity Day. And what you're supposed to do is, obviously, how many of you are watching? Comment in the section below. Did you have acne growing up? I did. I used to hate it because my mom and dad were the kind of parents that didn't just let it go and tell you to go wash your face. My parents liked to pop mine. Anybody else? Ooh, that's kind of gross. I remember my dad holding me down one time. I was probably 12, 13-ish, and picking some zits, and then going in and having to scrub those off. But today, because it is something that affects all of us. We've all been on the other side of a negative side of a pimple. Everybody's been there. So on a day like today, we're all supposed to be kind to one another, especially those facing folks that do have acne or do have some pimples showing. This is the day to show some support and love towards them instead of saying things like, hey, crater face or pizza face or other horrible, terrible things like that. So some other stuff that I like to talk about a lot on this show, and you'll probably know this by now, is I really like to talk about the food stories. Those are kind of some of our favorite things. We started with National Burn-Ins Day, but I really like talking about food. And one of the things that I have come across and discovered this time of year, obviously we're heading into fall. Like I said, Labor Day is on Sunday. That's supposedly the official end of summer, but it's not the last day of summer. So the last day of summer is coming up here in just a couple of weeks, and people are already losing their mind over pumpkin pie flavored things. Pumpkin spice lattes will be making an appearance here real soon. People are going to be talking about pumpkin scented candles and all kinds of stuff. Well, Kitkat's getting into the game, and Kitkat is putting out a pumpkin flavored Kitkat. I don't even know if that's any good or if that's just disgusting or what, but those are good. They're out, and they're orange, of course. They are. I was in the CVS, I think with Peyton the other day, and he came walking up with a pumpkin-shaped Reese's peanut butter cups, but he had a whole bag. I was like, you don't need a whole bag. So the pumpkin food is coming. It's going to be everywhere. What's your favorite pumpkin-flavored fall treat? Is it the lattes? What is it? Comment in the section below. Let me know. All right. Another little piece of food news. Cotton candy has been transformed, and they're using it to flavor pancakes now. All right. There is something now called the cotton candy pancake, and the title of this is "It's a whimsical way to start your day." All right. So it's a pancake flavored with cotton candy. I don't know that would be any good, or if it would or wouldn't be. But today is National. No. It's just a headline. It's not a National Cotton Candy Pancake Day, although maybe we should make it that. All right. Cotton candy pancakes. Would you try it? If you would, do you think you'd like it? I'm not a cotton candy fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I think I probably would try it. All right. And then one more, and then we'll jump in with Jarod today. There is a brand new burger being debuted at Wendy's this week. All right, are you ready for this? Now, I like Wendy's burgers, and personally, out of all the fast foods besides In-N-Out, I think Wendy's probably does do the best regular fast food hamburgers. But they have a new cheddar bun with the big bacon cheddar cheeseburger. So if you've had their big bacon cheddar cheeseburger, it's pretty good. But now they have a cheddar infused bun that they're putting on that. That just, my mouth started watering just now when I even said a cheddar infused bun. So anyway, sounds good. All right. Well, listen, that's what's going on around the country today. I hope that you enjoyed those. Jump down in the comment section and hit the share button for me, and tell people that you're watching the show, sharing the show. Those of you who are Vindication fans, man, thank you so much. I know that you came and grabbed our last podcast that we had Jarod on, and you put that on your Vimeo channel, and it really meant a lot to me that you would do that and share the podcast like that. Hopefully you're going to do the same thing with this one. If you're a Vindication fan, I love this show. Jody and I watched it the other night. We watched all 10 episodes. It was outstanding. And when we finished, both of us were like, okay, let's get to it, season 2. And then Jarod was gracious enough to come on and talk about it. We're going to watch the trailer for season 2 and all kinds of stuff. So pull up a chair, make some people aware that you're going to be with us today as Jarod O'Flaherty is here. All right, let's expand your search. My guest today is Jarod O'Flaherty. He is a native of the Dallas-Fort Worth area and the award-winning filmmaker behind the crime drama series Vindication, which released season 1 in 2019 on Amazon Prime. And season 2 is coming this week right here on Pureflix. His previous works include the feature film My Son, the World War II documentary We Were There, and a handful of shorts and music videos. If you have not seen Vindication, Jody and I highly recommend it. It is a great crime series, and we absolutely love it. Please welcome back to the program, Jarod O'Flaherty. Jarod, how are you? So good to have you back with us today.
Yes, Brent, thanks for giving me a second chance at this. But
man.
I guess 2 seasons, we get 2 interviews, right? So
you know what? And I'm so glad that we're going to actually get to have some of the cast members on as well. That's very exciting. Jody and I sat down and watched season 1 again just the other night. It's such a good show. I told you when I had you on before, the very first shot when the person's mopping the floor in the hallway of the station house there, it felt immediately like I was like on watching one of those CBS crime dramas. I mean, it is an absolutely great show. Hats off to you. You guys did great work.
Well, thank you. Well, as you can imagine, there's a big team behind it, lots of people, lots of moving parts, and everyone doing their job, doing it well, and loving what they're doing, and getting behind the show is why we get the results that you've seen.
I wanted to just ask as we start heading into season 2. Now, I believe it drops today. For those of you who are wanting to catch season 2. What can we expect? I mean, because season 1, I know that it was kind of a work in progress for you, and it really turned into the series aspect of it towards the end of it. Is that feel continuing into season 2?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, we wanted to pick up where we left off so that audiences who enjoyed the show, it's not going to be a big change up for them starting the new season. I will say that in season 1, when we got feedback from audiences, they said, man, the crime of the week, that aspect, the investigations, that was cool and I enjoyed it. But it was the characters and their stories, their families, their job life, their personal struggles that I really attached to. And that's what I loved. And that's what kept me coming back for more episodes. So as we go into a second season, we've kept that in mind. So while you'll still have a crime of the week, you'll still have an investigation that takes place. It's going to be those storylines of the characters and some new characters that get introduced that I think are what audiences will really hopefully enjoy, and it'll keep them coming back for more episodes.
I noticed as I watched it the first time, I immediately, obviously, all of your attention goes to Detective Travis. He's the main character, and Todd's such a great actor. But when I watched it the second time, the other characters really started to stand out. And I know his wife, so many times the detective's wife is just kind of a throwaway almost, like she's worried about him. She's just kind of, please don't do this. And then, it's usually then him with this internal struggle. But Becky has she's a very influential character throughout this entire series. How did you come about that? What was the secret sauce in making her?
Hopefully this isn't giving away too many spoilers. I mean, season 1's been out for 2 years, so I can say some things. But, from a high level, season 1, you're looking at the spiritual journey of Detective Travis.
Yeah.
At the beginning, he's skeptical. I think he's probably an Easter and Christmas type of Christian. He'll show up to church and bow his head on those dates. But the whole season is you see God pursuing him, sometimes with broad strokes, sometimes with smaller things, until we get to the end of the season. And obviously that comes to a point. But, Becky is there throughout most of that journey and is this kind of, she's not pressing him. She's not in his face about it, but she certainly lets him know where her faith is and where it sits. And you've probably heard many stories like I have of women, of wives, who had a husband that was not a believer or wasn't, didn't have an active faith. And their faithfulness and their consistency is what ends up drawing their husbands to the Lord. It's just a story at our own church. I've just heard and seen it many times. And I thought, what a neat thing that we could have play out. But like I said, you don't see her grabbing him by the arm and dragging him to church in any of those episodes. It's more gentle. But when the moments come that she does need to say something, especially in the finale of the season, she lets it rip.
Yeah, she did. It is such a typical story to see a husband, go to church because his wife's already there. That's kind of the story everywhere. Most churches are full of, more married women where their husbands are at home or playing golf or going fishing or whatever on Sunday mornings. But you didn't. She's not the stereotype church wife. I mean, she's just not. She wasn't, like you said, she wasn't preaching at him through the whole thing. So we really enjoyed her, and the way that God really ministered to him and hooked him was so good. And they're both so great. They're both so great in how they do that. I know that we've kind of talked a little bit before about her. You really didn't want her to be that one-dimensional.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we didn't want her to be a prop or just this lady that has all the right answers, that is the perfect Christian, and every time some trouble comes up, she quotes scripture and everything gets better. We just didn't want her to be that. I don't think those type of characters are interesting. I also don't think they're realistic. So there are some elements, certainly in season 1, in episodes where you see that she has her flaws as well. Sometimes her flaw can be that she wants to help out too much, or she wants to do the right thing to an extreme. So, and I think that came across, and audience have appreciated her character and the depth. She's also, I think, a very strong woman. She's not just this, servant to Detective Travis that cooks him meals and makes the bed and that sort of thing. When the moments come, she's got that inner strength that I think a lot of women appreciate in the stories. Well,
she is excellent, and of course the gentleman that plays Detective Travis, they're both great. They've both been in some high profile series. I think both of them have been on Fear the Walking Dead and some other big series and roles. How do you go about casting a role like this? Like if somebody was an actor, how do they get a role on Vindication?
So those two are pretty unique in how it happened. It's probably not the norm. Both of them I met at events, film festivals, or kind of a gathering of people in the film industry. I met them individually there. Todd first. And it was very early on in the series and my career really as a filmmaker. And I kind of went up to him and said, "Hey, what does it take to get a guy like you that's been in all these big shows? How do I get you to come work with some independent filmmakers, And he was very open and said, "Hey, it always depends on the storyline and the script, but let me see what you got and let's see if we can make this happen." So that's how I met him. He never auditioned for Detective Travis. It was just will you come work with us? And he did. And then the series grew around his talents and abilities. Peggy Shaw, who plays Becky, very much the same. I was at a film festival. She was a panelist there. And I always tease her that she was like royalty at this festival. Like she had won a lot of awards and people knew of her. And to me, it was just like, oh, can I go and talk to this lady that everyone is, saying such wonderful things about? And, I had a good connection. I told her, hey, if this series I'm working on ever continues, I'd love to have you audition to be the spouse of our lead character. And, she said she would love to. And she did audition. She was the only person that we ever had audition for that. You just want to see it, though, just to be safe. You want to see it first. So, but yeah, she was the only one that auditioned. And yeah, the rest is what you've seen on the screen.
You got just such an incredible cast. I don't want to get to Chris Tanner just yet. We're going to save that for a second. But before we really go any further, we do have the trailer for season 2, and I know a lot of folks have probably been waiting to see it. And so we're going to roll that right now. Here it is, the trailer for season 2 of Vindication.
All right, guys, get out there, be safe, watch each other's backs.
911, what's your emergency? There's a guy in the garage with my dad, and they're yelling, and I don't know what to do. I'm Sergeant Travis with East Bank Police Department. Just here to follow up.
Be careful. Be safe. I love you.
There is no shortage of issues in this world today. Injustice, inequality, prejudice. Where I grew up, there wasn't no hate about it.
There's something going on here. They're all covering for him.
Sad. It's like they're addicts. No limits.
I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it was one bad choice.
One bad choice or one got caught.
You know what I do know? Is that God doesn't abandon us just because we mess up. With all this shuffling going on, it's going to create opportunities for those who are willing to show how much they want to move up.
What do they expect to find in a review?
Between you and me, I have a lot of fans on that panel.
You never contact him again, or I will come after you.
I am so proud of you, but maybe just leave us out of it, okay?
We love you, Father. Continue to lead us, guide us, and direct us. Amen.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's the first time I've seen it right there. And I've got, so many questions already. I got goosebumps. Oh my goodness. Jarod, wow. Okay, so Chris Tanner is obviously his Detective Travis's partner. And the IT technical guy for the department is Kevin. And I felt so sorry for him because he just kept trying, and it's like every chance he got steered away. I don't want to give it all away there, but he was really trying to get with her. And is that an engagement ring? Are you even able to say what was that? Is that? Give us something.
Well, when we got to the end of season 1, a lot of the storylines, most all the storylines that we had developed, they came to a nice conclusion, or you at least got some closure on them. But once the season was over, we sat there and said, this thing with Kevin and Chris, we never really got an answer for. We didn't know what happened with it. So that's something we've got to explore in a season 2. And you mentioned a little bit, obviously he has a crush on her, and she hasn't really noticed or been interested or anything, you know?
Oblivious,
Yeah, so obviously you saw that little shot in the trailer that something's going to happen there. We didn't just pretend like that never happened.
Well, I saw a kiss there too. Is that them? It kind of looks like them, but I don't know if it was them because you couldn't see the faces. So
yeah, you have to go back and watch, I guess. So.
Well, man, it looks amazing. It drops today on Pureflix. You can actually go and get your you can subscribe and get in there and start watching, and then it drops every week. It's not going to all drop at once. You can wait weekly and watch it just like a regular a series. Is it going to be on any other platforms, or is Pureflix the solo?
Yeah. So Pureflix, it's a Pureflix original series, and they should be dropping 2 episodes today, the first 2 episodes, and then each Wednesday after will be the others. Redeem TV, it's a donation-supported streaming service, is also a production partner on that, and they'll be a few days behind Pureflix, but for those that are donors to that platform, they'll have access to it there as well. And then there will also be some purchase options. If you like to get the DVD or own it on another platform, that'll be available too. And I think you'll be able to get the whole season if you purchase it. So there's that.
So you can watch it all at once and binge watch and just do it all. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you get to see a year of work of Jarod in about a couple of hours and stream through it, where it's like, it didn't come together that quick.
Man, folks, it's so good. You need to, if you haven't seen season 1, get on now, watch it now, catch up. Season 2 drops tonight. It's amazing, especially you folks that I know a lot of folks that even go to our church that are into crime dramas and stuff like that, but they They just don't like all of the sex and the violence and everything. This obviously communicates every bit of that without being so graphic and in your face with it. And the message of the gospel is present throughout the entire thing. Jarod, this looks incredible. We can't wait to see it.
Yeah, thanks. That was fun to get to see your reaction after watching the trailer for the first time. I think that's the first time I've got to experience that.
Well, you gave me goosebumps, and we wish you nothing but the best, and good luck to you. And we'll be watching.
Well, thanks for having me on.
All right, that's Jarod O'Flaherty, everybody, and now let's stop for directions. The journey of faith. That's a place that all of us have enjoyed, if not are still on. I have to say, we're all on this journey right now. Many people come upon this journey early in life, others maybe late in life. Some people maybe don't really even start the journey. They kind of wrestle with the beginning for their entire life. They never get to the believing part. This is a place that we see the lead character of in Vindication. Detective Travis is living his journey of faith throughout season 1, and I can only assume that that's going to continue on in season 2. But his path is one where God is doing his best, to honor the prayers of Detective Travis's wife, somebody who's praying for him. Now, this is probably a place where most of us are at. Somebody's praying for us somewhere. Let me ask you this question. Do you find yourself coming across things that point to God? Maybe you really don't understand how. You don't understand, how did that thing with God show up in my life? Do you have these reoccurring, stirring emotions or thoughts in your heart? Maybe something that keeps going over and over in your mind that you can't shake, you can't get past. Well, that, my friend, is not a coincidence. That is a divine plan that is set in motion by the prayers of somebody who loves you. I happen to grow up in a family that has over 30 ministers in it. And one night, my cousin Danny said that he had a dream where he went to heaven, and in this dream, he was taken to a huge room that was full of these giant filing cabinets. And suddenly, this man appeared and opened up a drawer and pulled out a piece of paper and handed it to Danny, and he asked the man, "What is this?" And the man answered, "These are the prayers of your grandmother. She prayed these prayers, and this whole room is full of them, for her offspring." My great-grandmother was a Methodist circuit-riding preacher in the early part of the 1900s, and she spent hours praying to God that he would use her and her children and her grandchildren and so on for generations. And God has been honoring those prayers. Well, in the show Vindication, it's a fantastic show that shows the journey of somebody praying for somebody else, and it happens to everyone. Today, don't chalk those things up as chance. Realize that God is reaching out to you. Embrace it. Allow God to make you into the person that you have been created to be. That's going to wrap it up for the show today. I'm so grateful to Jarod O'Flaherty for stopping by to hang out with us today and bring us Season 2. Check out Vindication Season 2 starting today on Pureflix. Coming up on Friday, we're going to have the producer and director of Something Smells Funny. He just also happens to be the director of the movie Church People, Christopher Sean Shaw. Coming up on some other future shows, we're going to have some of the cast from Vindication with us, and I'm really super excited about that. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you had a great show, and I hope that I helped you expand your search. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks for joining us today. Connect with us on @expandingyoursearch on Facebook and Instagram, and @expandingsearch on Twitter. Relive any of our episodes on YouTube. We're available wherever podcasts are found, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also download the Direction Ministries app on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Take